Wealth, fame, power, Gold Roger, the king of pirates, attained everything this world has to offer. The words he uttered just before his death drove people to seas. My treasure, if you want it, you can have it. Find it. I left everything this world has to offer there.
And so the men head for the Grand Line in pursuit of their dreams. The world has truly entered a great pirate era.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Livin' Los.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on the Strawhats journey.
Here again with a brand new episode of review and discussion for One Piece chapter 1003.
Let's take a look at the cover art.
This week's cover page, another fan request, this time with the focus on Reiju, Sanji's sister. She's accepting a cactus flower from an infatuated scorpion, confessing its love for her. How strangely wholesome.
So Los, what a pattern, huh?
It was already debunked. At least my pattern was.
So for those of you first listening, Los guessed this pattern that every cover spread would be one enemy and then one straw hat, one enemy, one straw hat. And this finally broke the pattern because it is not an enemy or a straw hat.
It is an ally.
But we're not too good at guessing the cover spreads. They're really, really random.
They're tough to guess, yeah. Oda is just he's a random guy sometimes. Everything about this cover is okay, other than the scorpion's face. It's very cringy to look at, honestly. It's just
very pinched looking.
It's just strange, and it's it makes me uncomfortable.
What do you think her drink of choice is here? She has a cup.
I think she's got that good toxic frappuccino, probably with a little mix of rat poison.
Because I was thinking a hot cup of tea. But, okay, never mind. A hot cup of poison.
Alright, here we go. One Piece chapter 1003. The night reflected on a go board. What do you think this means, Liv? Any guesses to the title?
I'm not too sure what a go board is.
I'm not either, actually. I'm thinking like a plank on, like,
I'm just thinking if it's the night reflected, I would say the Minx Sulong form, it happens at night, the moon reflects, and then it would have to reflect on a ship or something.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything to build off of that title. Usually the other ones are very kind of clear cut, like the past one was Emperors versus the new generation. I wonder what foreshadowed.
I didn't even actually think about that until just now. I just read it. I didn't even think it was different because it is different.
A different kind of title, yeah. The chapter pops off with Luffy letting loose on the 100 Beast Captain. As everyone is watching in awe of the view of the Straw Hat bouncing ball beating down the highest bountied Yonko of the seas, Big Mom is in absolute shock and worry.
Kid, Law, Zoro, Big Mom. I'm sure Killer's there too. They're all watching Luffy's fireworks show of every other hit he's making on Kaido. It looks like it's popping.
From the Gatling gun is just explosive. You can tell there's aftershock.
And I'm surprised, they're not grilling some hot dogs or popcorn. Or
No,
the carnival is about to start.
It would have been if it was Luffy's fireworks or storm technique, but the Gatling is just as visually pleasing. Big Mom's face here, man. What is with that? Like,
she has the meat sweats.
She looks terrible.
I bet you she's laughing on the inside.
Yeah, she's just like, ha, you stupid dragon. Just as Luffy gives his final breath in fourth gear, he makes sure the last one hurts. Blasting Kaido into the rooftop deck, Kid is seen being in the same state as Big Mom. Only seconds after the aftershock of Luffy's blow, it exhausts the rest of his fourth gear transformation. This is probably being due to him having to perform the strongest Gatling of his lifetime yet. He probably did add some Ryo to some of those blows, honestly. He did give it his all, and it was a full-on assault on just Kaido's face, and he was not going to let the opportunity miss.
Yeah, I have more to say about this after a few panels.
We'll
get back to that thought.
Zoro and Law both take notice of the air-loosing balloon that is Luffy. Kid is left confused, wondering when Luffy took a hit. Pseudo Straw Hat member Law explains that it's the side effect from his transformations, and also shares the timely 10-minute info for Luffy's hockey delay.
Now, someone has to drag around Luffy for the next 10 minutes till he regains his hockey, and I don't think that's very captain-like. So he's deflated as soon as the fight starts, and it really hasn't started yet. Law points out he will be unable to use hockey for 10 minutes, but actually we don't know if Luffy's cooldown time is 10 minutes because I'm sure he's capable of now cooling down in a few minutes since all of his training.
Right, yeah, no, I think 10 minutes is stretching it a a bit much because even if it was, he just did exhaust all of the hockey he could use at that moment. I think 10 minutes is a bit much. Within that time, the other 4 people could die already.
Yeah, and the fight really hasn't started. It's just him punching Kaido and now him out. And now he's going to drag around Zoro.
He's basically handicapping him.
Exactly, but so early on in the fight, that's not something a captain would do.
It's not something I kind of agree with right now, honestly, because I didn't want to see that. I wanted Luffy to be full endurance, like, I'm ready for this fight. I don't have to have you guys watch my back forever, you know? Like, everybody is expecting him to come in at this, like, right below Kaido as a strength level. And right now, it just looks a little disappointing because he looks like he's all wasted and tired out already.
And I hope he pops right back up. I hope it's not 10 minutes.
Yeah, I hope he's not just all, I can't get up or I can't throw a punch. Just because he just used like the Gatling move for like maybe 5 minutes straight, just boom, 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 boom. But hopefully that's not the case. I want Luffy to spring back into the action right after this. Kid is satisfied as long as the blows counted. I have a personal thought that Kid is amazed from witnessing Luffy's power and understands that it might come with repercussions. You know, Kid, I'm surprised they gave him a small panel to just be like kind of gazing at Luffy, just like, oh, like, what the hell? That's Luffy? Like, that's that punk that I saw 2 years ago?
I didn't see it like that.
No?
I mean, not really, because I don't think that was worth it for him to be deflated for 10 minutes. But he just goes against what I said. He's saying, you know, if that did damage, then that's worth it. So me and Kid aren't in agreement right now.
No, yeah, of course. All right, yeah, because he's satisfied as long as they counted, but there are drawbacks to Gear 4th, as everyone knows.
Luffy's laying on the floor with his tongue sticking out, just completely down. Big Mom's hovering above them, laughing. Done already? You really gave it your all, didn't you? She's about to swing Napoleon, the newly named sword technique, essentially Napoleon in full battle flame mode. Motherly fire! And we see Zoro evading the attack and grabbing Luffy out of the way. Kid and Killer in a really great panel as they rush towards Kaido. Hey Killer, don't let up now, we're gonna finish Kaido off. Big Mom makes a mistake and takes her eyes off Law. She's chanting for Straw Hat as he sneaks his way on board Zeus and uses Counter Shock.
Counter Shock.
I like Law and his sneaky, quick moves. As soon as he sees an opening and you're not paying attention, he's going to swap, attack, and then get back to safety.
Yeah, he really zapped Big Mom here. You could tell by her face, it's all really wrinkled up. And Zeus doesn't really seem to take any damage, but Big Mom does seem to get really shocked. Law is a quick mover. He's just teleporting within the seconds, so can't use much observation hockey within his room. Cutting back to Kaido picking himself up, still in full dragon form. Killer takes notice and he's like, what the hell is that? Kaido suddenly unleashes a catastrophic dragon twister. Winding his huge dragon body causes a natural disaster-like damage. Zoro reiterates this as he's complaining, you've got to be kidding me. This is really like facing a natural disaster. As his captain is finally conscious enough to realize that it's none other than his first mate keeping him safe.
Oh, Zoro, thanks.
Unfortunately for him, Zoro loses grip of Rubber Boy and are both caught up in the windstorm. Luffy! I let my guard down.
Zoro, come on. You let your guard down again. You're supposed to be more serious with the bandana on.
Come on, bruh. Seriously.
I think he's feeling too pressured to shine in front of the other captains. And maybe, you know, too pressured from the fans, too.
Too pressured from the fans? Is that what you think?
Yep, I think so. Everybody lay off Zoro.
Well, he's bearing it all on his shoulders right now because as Luffy's caught up in the storm, Kaido makes his move, captures, and chows Luffy like he's some meat-flavored gumball.
Meatball-flavored gumball?
Zoro doesn't like what he sees, claiming there's no way he's going to let Kaido's punk ass eat his captain. So he draws up all 3 of his blades with haki. Emna starts gushing out with haki. Big Dragon takes notice to this huge haki leak and that it's emanating from the sword specifically.
Big Dragon? It's funny how you said that. Big Dragon. Kaido, are you a big dragon?
Stuck too long in last minute checks, Zoro gets enough time to let out a twister of his own. Of course, a newly updated Black Rope Great Dragon Twister. With Kaido right in the eye of the storm, gets a nice deep gash on his side. This is such a crazy panel. Zoro let up like a huge tornado and Kaido's just like...
Now I take back my comment on what I said about Zoro letting his guard down because he delivers a puncturing slash.
That's somewhere around Kaido's like upper shoulder area, I have to guess, because it doesn't even show his arm or anything yet. Killer quickly takes notice to Zoro's ability to penetrate his scales and to shed some Yonko blood. Kaido also spits Luffy out as he's coughing out some more blood from Zoro's attack.
That brat! He actually cut Kaido! Big Mom screeches.
Yes, that stinging sensation. I get it now. So it's Odin's sword. To think you'd try and counter my twister with your own. And then he just laughs. Kaido tried to not let this faze him as he tries to equalize the battlefield with another attack. Dragon Twister. Gale of Destruction might be an enhanced version of the previous Wind Destruction technique, the same one that cut Okiku's arm, if everybody needs a little reminder.
Luffy's bouncing up and down here. It's like he's on a trampoline.
Yeah, he does. Zoro didn't even catch him. He's just fucking falling.
Zoro has his hands full. He has his swords ready.
He's literally just watching Luffy fall.
So is Big Mom, you see her face? She's laughing at him too.
Yeah,
he is a bouncy ball.
Luffy is going down head first though. That's so funny. This causes everyone to take cover, guard up, and evade the attack. I'm paying close attention to the interrelations between the members of the Worst Generation, and I forget to take note that Kid and Killer haven't seen Luffy and Zoro in person since the Sabaody arc, right before the time skip. Although they did catch a glimpse of the Straw Hats' action in Punk Hazard via the underworld communication, Kid and Killer seem so shocked by both of their rivals' immense power. Think about it. Last time Kid saw Luffy, he was more or less on equal terms in overall strength, if not higher due to his malice and experience. And next thing you know, that little rubber boy went from barely being able to flee from an admiral 2 years ago to beating the shit out of a Yonko in front of you. Who, by the way, also bitch slapped Kid out of consciousness and enslaved him in his own Wano country.
I would see it from the point Kid is coming from because he literally doesn't know Luffy's story. But we've been here, ever since the beginning. So it's kind of like, oh, like we expect this from Luffy. We actually expect more. If I haven't seen him in 2 years and he got that much stronger in 2 years, I'd be surprised too.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm expecting Kid's face to be my face for Kid's power, man, because I want him to show up. I want him to have an ace up his sleeve and be like, damn, I didn't know Kid could do that. But, it's still early in the fight. I'm not doubting him, but I just want to see more from him,
I'm not doubting him either, I agree.
It's just kind of more or less.
We'll see more.
He's the third most popular Worst Generation member, I would have to say, not including Zoro. We just haven't seen anything from him. That's the annoying part. And
what do you mean? We saw this entire huge new robot.
Yeah.
That's not really an attack, but he did use it to attack.
I can say that I'm satisfied so far with Kid. Not over
the top.
I'm not amazed or, there's nothing that he's shown to me over the top other than his cosmetics for his transformation. And same thing with Law. He hasn't shown me anything different than what I didn't expect from him. But as I said,
but we expect nothing from Law.
Yeah, but
that's a difference.
This is the perfect opportunity right now because Luffy, he's taken out of the fight. He's not going to be in the main stage for 10 minutes. So there's 4 other people to shine right now and be like, hey, you know what? I know I just saw Straw Hat come out and deal some damage. I'm going to show him now what I got. And I hope all 4 of these people show up right now.
I want them to show up too. I just don't want Luffy to be down for that 10 minutes because I don't think he deserves to be down these 10 minutes. Oda doesn't have to take him away from the fight for the others to shine. This is just an excuse, and I don't like this excuse.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. It's almost like a plot hole. I also don't like that Luffy is just going to be getting carried around because more or less he's just a bigger target at this point. Everybody should just go whoever's carrying Luffy, and if they even just drop them on the side of the battlefield, he's just liable to get killed because he's just lying around not doing anything. And that's what Big Mom wants to do. She wants to just go for Luffy's head. Kaido, he wants all of their heads too, but Big Mom came all the way from Whole Cake Island just for Luffy. And if she sees an open opportunity for her to swing, she's going to. She's a Yonko. She's not going to ask for permission.
If you think about it this way, going back to what you just said, Kid is amazed by the Straw Hat's strength, or Zoro and Luffy's strength. But they're still just as sloppy with Luffy being brought down so early in the fight, and now Zoro has to pick him up. So Kid could look at that as, oh, they haven't changed. They're not organized. They're still just kids, you know? And that's what Big Mom and Kaido think also, like I've said previously. They're just looking at them like these are kids. Or Luffy's just like this kid and he doesn't know any better. And this tactic right here about him deflating for 10 minutes, I just don't like it.
It's it gets a lot of people sour really fast, I think. And let us know if you feel the same way. If not, give us reason to feel otherwise. Just to mention again, when all the Worst Generation are trying to evade Kaido's Dragon Twister, Gale of Destruction, Kid takes another blow to his Punk Rotten transformation, and I don't know if it's reconstructing itself after each blow, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of worry or damage to Kid. As for Law, he's not having any struggle as he's just shambling his way around. And Zoro's trying to make Luffy duck and try to block his captain.
He's tripping up.
And Killer's actually looking like a badass. He's got both of his Punisher blades rolling, and he's just blocking the Gale attacks with them.
He's probably the first one in line.
Yeah, no, he's running somewhere.
Cutting back below the rooftop deck, everyone is taking notice to the insane battle above as more rubble continues to fall on them. In a very small panel, we get to see Orochi's current condition. Dead. Orochi's head is a bit hard to look at. Is that Oda hinting he's dead or hinting that he's going to come back? Take in mind, there's no blood, no body. Maybe his body is regenerating his head off panel.
But I think is blood coming out of his mouth? I don't know so much from the bottom of his head.
That is
a little bit of like a small pool of blood.
Or is that his mustache?
Well, it's his mustache and blood.
Okay, well, if you get your head chopped off like that, there should be way more blood, like covered on the floor. You shouldn't even be able to see the floor.
Should be a freaking pool.
Do you think he's going to come back?
I don't want to rule him out that fast, but at the same time, there's a 9 out of 10 chance that he is dead. I'm only giving him that one for the benefit of the doubt of his mythical fruit. Orochi hasn't proven anything amazing otherwise, so I mean, unless he ties back into the story a little deeper, then bring him back by all means, but if not, just keep him where he's at.
I'll put 90% that Orochi is still alive.
Oh, really? With only a 10% chance of him being actually dead?
Yes, I don't think he's dead. This head may be dead, but not his other ones he can sprout.
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a distraction. This could be just for play and not for actual action. Yeah, I think it might be a little misleading with this panel. I hope Orochi's alive because I want him to be a little more in depth to the story.
I hope he'll come back to play because that'll be just another fight for us to watch.
Yeah, exactly. An extra one. Hopefully Kinemon gets to... Chia!
Or it'd be an extra, 8 fights for us to watch or something like that. Okay, maybe his head just got cut off. Maybe he has to be stabbed in the heart, or you have to burn his body or something for him not to come back to life.
Right, yeah, because, there's a possibility of him having 8 other heads, or maybe he still has 9.
Because Kaido just did that out of annoyance, basically.
Yeah, basically out of spite and just being like, dude, shut the fuck up. This is my country.
We have a background saying... Our supplier went and got himself killed, and the feast they invited us to is devolving into a full-blown battlefield. This confirms CP Aegis 0, the world's strongest intelligence agency. Okay, Lois, can you tell me what CP0 is doing in Wano? I have so many questions about this.
I am a little bothered by this. Seriously, why are they here? This kind of upsets me because I never wanted to see any other world government agent, worker, marine, any affiliate other than Drake, honestly. This is kind of annoying.
They always have a very interesting look, like they're part of a circus act.
Yeah, no, they have very weird aesthetics to their masks.
The CP Aegis 0 leader is talking aloud. The world is about to undergo a drastic shift. He was before talking about Doflamingo's defeat, and now the clash between Kaido and the Worst Generation, becoming inevitable. But it almost seems like fate conspired to make allies of the samurai and these pirates. If the two emperors were to fall here, the future would definitely become uncertain, but that outcome is impossible.
The group of 3 CP0 members sit dormant in a private room, one of whose subordinates informs the agency of the numbers on the island.
The invaders are 5,400 men strong, but 400 have already fallen. Our associates have 30,000 men and 3,000 casualties. The samurai have done pretty well considering the odds. If they had tried the direct approach with their numbers, it would have been impossible to reach the opposing general. Launching a surprise raid was a brilliant move. That said, in this war, simply assassinating the enemy's leadership is unlikely to settle the conflict. An all-out war is unfolding across the whole island, and there's no way out. If they do nothing to counter the might of Kaido's executives, they stand to lose hundreds of troops at a time.
As the agency slightly doubts the raid's ability to close out the win against all of Kaido's executives, then subordinates.
If this new generation is unable to stand against the executives, it will be like getting surrounded by black stones on a go board. They'll be finished.
We catch a glimpse of Frankie and Sasaki's fight, a small look at failed escapee Sanji, the duo of Nami and Usopp with their apprentice Tama getting ready to engage with Ulti, ending it off with panels of Jinbei and Yamato. There's no sign of Chopper, Brook, Robin, or Marco this chapter. I'm wondering if they'll make an appearance in the next chapter or if Oda is scheming something secret for them.
I'm hoping we see them. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm more excited for their fights.
I really want to see Chopper in action, and I do want to see Brook and Robin get into a fight here too. I couldn't help notice that the format on the Go board sort of reminded me of the world government symbol. As the CP0 member finishes his narration and final statement, we finish the chapter with an update on the main battle.
The panel is in a dark shade here. Please continue to do your utmost to take each other out, my dear pirates. Does Kaido know they're here?
I'm not too sure if Kaido does. I know Orochi is the one that invited him to Wano, or them to Wano, but as far as Kaido's relevance to the situation, I actually don't think he knows that they're there.
I really didn't want anyone or group to interrupt the battle between the 5 worst generation here and the 2 Yonko. I don't mind them stepping in afterwards, but why make this fight bigger than it already is?
Kaido seemingly transforms into his hybrid form, but is left in silhouette behind the smoke. What the hell is that? Says Kid. Is that Kaido? As Luffy's whimpering to get back on his feet. It must be his hybrid form, confirms Law. Oi, Lin, this is getting fun.
Mama. You know, Kaido, I was just thinking the same thing. The mighty emperors block their path. No break next week.
No break. I say wow every week. So damn, dude. This time, I'm a little bummed out by the fact that CP0 is even present in Wano in the first place. I hope they don't influence anything in this event. But maybe Drake knows they're here, along with Who's Who, possibly.
Leave CP0 out of this.
I enjoyed the first half of the chapter, especially during Zoro's prime time, obviously. Very fitting attacks laid out against the Yonko. If he would have landed his previous large blow, he might have had Kaido pinned down on after this second one. But of course, none of the Yonko are pushovers, just because of their age, still very much monsters in their own right. I like that we mildly check back in with some of the other allies, but again, I'm bummed over the obvious previously said. Great chapter still, but to me the first non-10 out of 10 chapter of the 1000s. A lot might think different though.
No, I agree with you. It's probably my least favorite out of the thousands. This chapter wasn't too exciting for me. Just because the CP0 showing up, I just don't want anyone to interrupt. I don't want the Marines to interrupt. I don't want any other Yonko or any other pirates. I just want it to be between who it is right now.
Right, I just wanted a pirate-based issue. I don't want any Marines involved because now it gives more reason to believe that Drake will come out of this alive. Possibly CP0 wants to keep Drake alive and not just let him be killed here in this fight.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing for Drake, but the thing is that he was already outlooked as, you know what, he's the only Marine affiliate in this pirate-filled area. And now it just kind of, it dulls that visual out because...
It does, because he doesn't seem as cool as we thought he was.
Exactly, and then you know what, I mean, Drake doesn't seem like the person to be crying back for help, for, reinforcements or anything. But the Marines obviously, or I don't know if CP0 actually knows about the organization SWORD. So that is still actually, this whole Marine affiliate it's just kind of...
It's not cleared up yet.
It's not cleared up yet and is really shrouded in mystery, but I don't like this part of the chapter at all. I don't like it being involved in the story right now in the arc, but hopefully Oda works their way out somehow, or at least gets them taken care of apart from the main plot point right now.
Right. I don't want them to have anything to do with the fight, and I don't want them to have anything to do with Drake either, because just leave them alone. We don't need them here.
Why did you guys need to show up? Seriously, why? I would have been more satisfied with saying if they had a ship outside of the country of Wano, they're wiretapping them they're somehow finding information at Onigashima, but they're not them physically being present there, because now they're involved with the whole new Onigashima project. If they don't hightail it out of there right now, they're going to be dropped on top of the flower capital too. So somehow, some way, they're going to get involved, and that's very annoying for me to think about, but maybe somebody else can see this a little differently through a different perspective.
I'm really excited to see Kaido's hybrid form. I am imagining him looking like a wildebeest Bigfoot fish crossover. That's the only thing I could picture, and it's gonna be not that attractive, but I hope Oda draws him like pretty cool looking, but I don't think it's gonna turn out cool looking. I think it's gonna turn out
a little funny,
a little wild.
Yeah.
Beast.
Wild beast. Maybe scary looking.
Just ugly.
Ugly?
Yeah. I mean, come on, look at Big Mom.
Yeah, Big Mom.
Are we assuming Kaido's hybrid form is the strongest?
I would like to think so also, because I don't think it was in Lucci's full transformation when Luffy beat him. But back during that fight, I know it was mentioned that being in your hybrid form as a zone devil fruit user could be utilized as your strongest technique or your strongest transformation.
Since Kaido's going hybrid form, which is the strongest, as you just confirmed, do you think Luffy is going to get maxed out here in a maxed out form? Or do you think that will happen later on in a fight with Blackbeard? I know it's a tricky question.
Oda just hinted at Luffy's Gear 5th in the most recent SBS, and I wasn't doubting that we might be able to see that transformation here in Wano, but I was actually expecting a different variant of Gear 4th.
I was thinking the exact same thing, because we have Bound Man, Tank Man, and Snake Man. We need a Dragon Man.
Or a Lion Man, a Tiger Man. Something more badass, Luffy. Come on, there's more animals on the planet.
Because I think he'll get Gear 5 in his final battle.
Oh, with like Blackbeard?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a transformation right now, another Gear 4, and then during the next battle, big battle, it'll be Gear 5.
Gear 5? I like that. You know, Luffy's always busting out something new, so we'll definitely... He still has more up his sleeve and more tricks in his bag.
In this lovely Chapter 1003 review, we're also going to cover Volume 98 of the SBS that came out on February 3rd, 2021. We'd like to thank the library of Ohara.com for providing all this great information about One Piece.
Shout out to Artor. He's a real one.
For those of you who may not know what SBS is, it's Oda taking a variety of questions and comments from fan mail and answering them and illustrating when each volume comes out. There's also information that gets revealed, so it's a great way to stay on top of the series. This SBS has 20 inquiries, but Los and I are just going to brush up on a few that stood out. We just were talking about Luffy's Gear 5. Well, question 8 was written from a kid because their handwriting is all messy, and Oda says that's why he wanted to include it. Even though you can't write yet, you still send a letter to Oda. If Luffy's Gear 4 is a thing, then will Gear 5 be a thing too? It's funny because Luffy's Gear 4 is already a thing.
It should be. I think it is. I think that's what he just used at the rooftop. Or was that something else?
No, I'm pretty sure, right?
Maybe the reader didn't know. This looks like it was written on a napkin and enveloped and mailed to Oda, honestly.
Oda mentions that eventually you will have to transition from 4 to 5th to get stronger. We already made comments earlier about there being a 5th gear, so it will happen. Even Oda says it right here, but I don't think that'll happen in Wano. Mark my words.
I heard you, Liv. I heard you. For question 12 on the SBS for volume 98, another reader asks, the Marines have admirals, vice admirals, captains, etc. But while I think the fleet admiral is one at the top, in what order are the others graded? Oda says, now that you mention, I don't think I've explained before how the Navy is structured. Please see here how they are graded.
He listed them from Fleet Admiral all the way down to Chore Boy. Oda had the initial idea to have Doflamingo be a part of Kaido's alliance in this Wano War. I need that, especially with the animation that's going on right now. Dofi can definitely shine more. They're both so evil, although I think Dofi is more serious. It would have been good to see Doflamingo and Kaido work together, because we've only seen them both take over their own land, even though Dofi works under him. I don't think it would have been necessarily him being a worker for Kaido, more of an ally. I would put him in the same rank as King and Queen.
If it was structured that way, I would have liked to see if Doflamingo was actually king of Wano country and he was working with Kaido as Kaido was working with Orochi. That would have been a really cool kind of connection to see if Doflamingo was actually just the king of this land originally, and here he did partnered up a business with the Yonko and ended up taking over the whole country together.
That would be great.
But we did get a whole 100 chapter arc for Doflamingo on his own. He's an impel down right now, unfortunately, for Liv. But he will make his way back into the story. That's for sure. Here in question 16, another reader asks, please draw the Sanji at ages 40 and 60 in the future, please. I'm counting on you, Oda-sensei. As you know, Oda has already drawn Zoro, Nami, Chopper, and Usopp in ages 40 and 60 in two different ways. One, in a world where everything went perfect and Usopp becomes a great pirate of the sea after he finds the One Piece. We've seen how he looks at age 40 and age 60. Here we see the same thing with Sanji. Age 40, here he is detailed with more of his mother's hair, a little longer down to his neck, and saying, whether it's women or food, I ain't picky. And that's kind of shocking for me to read that from Sanji's lips, because I would never ever think that he would accept Kokoro-san or anybody below Nami standards for a woman. And then for age 60, here's Sanji kind of taking a rendition from Zeph, as he's got the braided beard knot, coming down his chin, and he's also got the cook hat. It looks like he's actually back at the Bratier, because he's saying, I'm going to go fish in the all blue.
He looks good right here.
Yeah, I think Sanji looks really badass in age 60. And then in a world where everything goes in the complete opposite way.
I love seeing these.
This is actually where Sanji would have stayed with the Germa Kingdom at age 40. Sanji is a little bit on the heavier side, not anywhere near as fit as his current status. And he says, as long as it fills the belly, all food's the same. When his cigarette's still in his mouth. But funny to mention here is that none of Sanji's eyes are actually being shown. He's getting covered like a sheepdog.
It's not Sanji if you can't see the eyebrows.
It's not. It's definitely not. And the funny thing is that Sanji at age 60 for this is an exact copy of his father Judge. And literally you can't mistake him. Other than the S symbol in the front of the helmet, you would have guessed that's Judge immediately. And I like the two different parallels because Sanji does have two fathers in his life, but he does view Zeph more as a father than his actual blood-related dad.
Oh, I didn't look at it like that. That's nice. The last question for this episode is number 18. If Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, and Frankie were to become ability users, then what kind of fruit do you think they would have eaten?
Oda answers with Zoro having the Ue Ue no Mi, the fish fruit, mythical type model, Seiryu, which actually happens to be the big revelation of Kaido's devil fruit. Yes, Oda gave Zoro Kaido's devil fruit in a different, perfect, all-ability user world.
He goes on to say he would want to see Zoro's sword turn into the dragon rather than Zoro.
That would be pretty badass, yeah, like Funk Freed from Ennis Lobby, the sword that turns into the elephant. That would be so badass if Zoro just had like, okay, dragon, unsheath yourself and
it would be very awesome.
And just have him as like a Pokemon almost, essentially. As far as for Nami would be labeled down to the Goro Goro no Mi, the Rumble fruit coming from God Ineru. Here, Oda states that a true weather lady, now no one can stop her anymore, apart from Luffy, obviously from him being rubber.
Usopp would be given the Poki no Mi, the pocket fruit, where you can have infinite pockets in one's body.
This is coming from one of the commanders.
The perfect pocket for someone like Usopp, who always has something up his sleeve.
And for Sanji would be the Suwa no Mi, the swim fruit, obviously coming from Miss Senor Pink. It allows one to slip through walls or swim on the ground. If given to Sanji, it'd become quite the nasty ability. And we all know where Oda's looking at. This, I think, would be his second pick, apart from the clear fruit that he always wanted so badly.
Finally, we see Frankie with the Buki no Mi, the arms fruit. As of right now, Baby 5 has this fruit. Can't get any better than this for an ability for Frankie, Oda claims.
A mass arsenal just out of Frankie's body. This is absolutely the perfect fruit for him. I agree with them completely. This is actually a really interesting question because everybody else that's not stated is either already a devil fruit user, and the only exception to this is Jinbei, because he's a fishman. And if Jinbei were to be given a devil fruit, that completely takes his grand ability away to manipulate water or even swim. So I think Oda did a good job at missing or not giving Jinbei a devil fruit, restating that Jinbei would be a lot stronger without a devil fruit than with.
You think that's what Oda's trying to say here?
Yeah, because he didn't list Jinbei.
Because the question says Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, and Frankie. If you listen to chapter 999 review with Los and I, where we got revealed Kaido has a devil fruit but no model, although we guessed the type koi, after the legend where a koi fish turns into a dragon after a journey up a waterfall. Another hint, also Kaido's birthday, is the National Koi Day in Japan. But nope, now it's revealed it's the Seiryu. In English, that means the Azure Dragon. Like Kaido, is a blue dragon or blue-green. It's one of the dragon gods said to rule over the 4 directions in China. Or in Japan, it is one of the 4 guardian spirits of cities and is said to protect the city of Kyoto on the east. Thank you for tuning in with the Sustainable Strawhat podcast. Share this episode with someone who is caught up to chapter 1003 so we can get their thoughts as well as yours. As always, come chat with us on Instagram. We would love to see you there.
If you guys have an extra minute or an extra moment of your guys' time, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Okay guys, we actually have something extra for you this week. After you get done listening to this 1003 review, check out our bonus episode for Manga Mondays. We are giving you guys an abridged Wano timeline for the One Piece story, as well as 20 character expectations for the Wano arc. Hope you guys enjoy. Let us know how we are doing and your thoughts about this week's chapter and review. This is Living Los, setting sail. Peace!
Luffy は海賊王になる男だ